This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good morning, guys. Thank you for joining me this morning. So, we have covered 70 slides with almost all the concepts of fundamental building blocks and the basics of Python. I'm glad that we were able to make great progress. And if you go and look back in all the 70 slides, we have covered all the important concepts that makes a good Python programmer. Learning basics is different, and implementing the basics with advanced concepts is a bit different. So from 71st slide to 80th slide, we are going to complete the fundamentals and basics and then move on to the advanced concepts. So yesterday we were discussing on the other concepts like a list, a string, manipulating strings, working on strings, list, dictionaries, and everything. I have uploaded all the videos onto the public in my YouTube channel, so you need not to have any exclusive permissions to access that. Let me quickly show you. Just go to the playlist. In the playlist, just say view full playlist. The playlist name is datasets_journey. And in this one, Python 01, Python 02, Python 03, Python 04, 05, 06, 07, and 08. And on each video, I have clearly explained in the description that what are the concepts we have covered. Okay, and this one, please have a look. Let me show you. 2019 is the date. 04 is the month. And I think this is the time. So just have a look on this one and you'll understand when the recording has been uploaded. Okay, I have just put it that way because it will be easy for you also to correlate which class is recorded on which date. Okay, that's all it is. So we have covered amazing 8 sessions till now and we are on track. Now let's jump into one last concept for the basics and do the practicals. Before I go there, let me open my Jupyter notebook also. Okay. Python exercises. Let me zoom it a bit for your convenience. That's enough. Yeah, we are here now. Perfect. That's enough. Now, let's get into the concept of tuples. First of all, what is a tuple? So all these days you understood about string, you understood about list, you understood about sequence of characters and sequence of integers, and all these things are pretty clear. I'm glad. Now we are going to understand and work on important concept called tuple. Tuple is also a sequence of values, much like a list. In list, the way you have sequence of values, tuples is also same. Perfect. The values stored in tuple can be of any type and they are indexed by integers. So the only difference between list and tuples is list is also having sequence of values. Super. And my tuple is also having sequence of values. Super. But the values stored in the tuple can be of any type. That means it can be int, it can be string, it can be characters, it can be float, it can be anything. Now, these any characters sequenced are indexed by triggers. Indexed by triggers mean very simple. You have a reference point, and from that reference point, you will be able to index the numbers the way you wanted to call it out. That's what it is. Now, tuples are immutable. You know what is immutable. Strings are immutable, lists are immutable, and tuples are immutable. Now, but also comparable and hashable, so we can sort a list of them and use tuples as key values in Python dictionaries. This is important definition and feature, so kindly observe the differentiation. Tuples are immutable. Super. You understood what is immutable means. The values within the tuples cannot be updated or changed when they are assigned to a variable. It makes sense to me now. But they are also comparable and hashable, so we can sort the list of them and use tuples as key values in Python dictionary. Now, if you understand the tuples basics, you can refer the Python tuples with dictionaries such that you can use the tuples as key values in Python dictionaries. That's all it is. Now, let's understand something. Let's look at the tuple T. Tuple 3 is defined as 12, 323, D, 123, false. I have integer, I have string, I have list, and I have boolean. Right? Now, here T is a tuple with value of different data types. I have integer, I have string, I have list, I have boolean. Each value is separated by a comma. Super, I understand that. Even if a tuple has a single element, we need to mention by a comma. Always remember, if tuple has a different, if tuple has only one value also, if a tuple has one element also, you have to mention it by comma. Super. Now, whenever you work on tuples and try to execute the type of tuples, it will simply return the type as tuple. But if you want to write it without comma, then you'll have to see type of T and then do return. Okay. Now let's jump into other important aspect of it. Here what happens is, let me first show you the practicals and then move into further things. Okay. Now this is what I was talking about. T equal to int, string, float. Now if I say T, understand the basics. It just came like that. 12, 323, D, 123, false. So each element is separated by a comma. Very good. Now, likewise, I'm saying T1, comma. What did I tell you just few minutes back? I told you, boss, if you have one element in the tuple also, you need to define it with comma. That's what I did. Now type of T. Perfect. Done. It's a tuple. Super. Like that. If I say T equal to tuple of print of T, let's see what happens. It's simply written nothing. Okay. The reason why it written nothing is it knows that a definition of tuple should look like this, and in this one, in this gap, you haven't mentioned anything. That is the reason why it came up like that. Now let's jump into other important aspect of it. Hope you are clear with this one. Now What if we pass an argument which is a sequence of list, string, or a tuple itself? That's a question. Now, guys, what if we pass an argument? The argument is nothing but a sequence like a list, string, or a tuple itself. First of all, we say variable t1 equal to tuple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, t2 equal to tuple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, t3 equal to tuple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See the differences? Every element is separated by a comma. Super. But the first one is given in quotes, second one is closed with square brackets, and third one is closed with the circle brackets. Okay, what difference does it make? Very simple. In here, what happens is each statement creates a tuple with elements of sequence passed as an argument. That's what it is. Each element, each statement means T1 equal tuple is one statement, T2 equal tuple is second statement, T3 equal tuple is third statement. Now, each statement creates a tuple with elements of sequence passed as the argument. Okay. Now let me get into that and do that one also. So we'll get what we are talking about. Guys, if you're not clear, please come back and ask me. I'm more than happy to help you. So if I say T1, see what happens. It gave this is 1 and this is 2, this is 3. But understand the difference. After 1 is done, what did you get? What did you get? You got one empty space. After 2, what did you get? You got one empty space. After 3, you got one empty space. Why is that? Now, likewise, if I do T2, see what happens. See, I have not got anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The way it is written, I got it like that. Now, if I say, 1 second, guys, let me do T3 also. Come on, start responding. Yeah, T3. Again, I got the same thing. Now, if you understand carefully, because it is not mentioned within the brackets like square, understand carefully. This, guys, 1 minute. It's not responding actually. Give me 1 second. Let me refresh it. Tuples are very, very important. I request you to please focus. Okay, now let me try that for you and let's make the difference. Guys, I know three things are pending from me. I made a note of them and I also decoded it. So I'll explain that, don't worry. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Where are you? 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 Yeah, we are here. Now, let me run this one. Now, if I run T1, why is an empty space coming up? And if I run T2, why the empty space is not coming up? And if I run T3, why the empty space is not coming up? These are the important things you must be noted. Now, here what happens is, because the T1 is not defined within an additional bracket on the start and end, it is considering each of the element as a separate sequence and adding a comma to the end of it. Okay, that is what it is. It's very important, guys. You need to question yourself why that is happening. If you don't understand this, please kindly ask me again. I'll explain you. Is this point clear to you, everyone? T1 is a different tuple, T2 is a different tuple, T3 is a different tuple. When T2 and T3 are returning same values, why T1 has written different value? because the way T1 tuple has been defined is bit different. So with this statement, you need to understand the functionality and the way you process the data in tuples depend upon the way how we define the tuple. Okay, this is very important. Most of the people tend to confuse here, so be careful. If you are clear, I'll move on to the next slide quickly. Let's not waste time. If you're not clear, just say, Amar, I have a doubt.
No, it's clear.
Okay, perfect. That's fine. Thank you for that. Now, working with tuples. Working with tuples, you need to understand one thing. We can access the elements of tuples using the square brackets, but we can't reassign the value because tuples are immutable. The starting of the class itself, I have told you, guys, tuples are immutable. When I say tuples are immutable, when a tuple is stored in a variable, the variable cannot be updated, or the values of the variable cannot be changed. As simple as it is. Now, when you are trying to access the elements of the tuple, you need to use a square bracket. You know what is a square, right? Perfect. Now, we can also slice the tuples to get multiple elements using the indices as the range. Indices of the range is nothing but your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is nothing but a of 0, a of 1, a of 2. A of 0 is the first index, a of 1 is the second index, a of 2 is the a of 0 is the first index, a of 1 is second index, a of 2 is third index, like that. Now, let's play around. Only thing you must be aware in this slide is we can access the elements of tuple using the square brackets, but we can't reassign the values because tuples are immutable. We can also slice the tuples to get multiple elements using the indices as the range. Super. Let's go ahead and do some practicals here. Understand the concepts carefully, guys. Now, this is my T. T is a tuple separated by comma. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have nine numbers. Now, length of T is 9. Okay, super. Now, print T of L minus 2. Length is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. So, I need to say T of 7. When I say T of 7, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is 34. 8th one. Okay. I got the result 34. This is how tuples can be accessed. Let me erase all the drawings. Likewise, I'm going to get the definition of tuple of 2 is to 5. What is 2? This is 0. This is 1. 0. This is 2. So fifth one. Okay. Fifth one, not fifth one, the number 5. This is second one. 3, 4, 5. So it starts from 5 and ends with 34. Now let me go and take the pointer here and let me quickly run this one. I'll say T2. Okay, so see, it started from 5 and it ended till 54. Okay, 1 second guys, let me erase all the drawings. I might have confused you. Erase all the drawings. Okay, now if you see here.
Your pen isn't working, Anna.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, your pen is not working. I mean, we can't see the pen marks on the screen.
1 minute. I know the problem for this one. What did I do last time? Can you not see the highlighter also? You cannot see highlighter also? Okay, I understand you're not seeing. Okay, let me stop the screen sharing. It is paused. And now let me show this. Stop the screen sharing. It stopped. Show the screen. It started showing. Now let me take a highlighter. Is it working now?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's good. I understood the reason now. Guys, very simple. Let me take my pointer. Now, did you understand this bit? Do you understand the 13th cell? Did you understand that?
Yes. Yes.
You understood this one, right? Now,
Yes.
I am saying my tuple take starting from second one to fifth one. Okay? This is 0. This is 1. This is 2. Right? Now, starting from second to fifth one. So, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Now, when I say fifth one, it's actually fourth one, isn't it? What happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your mathematical 1, 2, 3. But in Python, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it? Now, 1, 3, 5, 2, 54. Right? What did I ask you? I asked you second one to fifth one. Second one started here. Fifth one started here. So within that, I should get 5, 2, and 54 because my one second, my second one is starts from Python here. Okay, I told you earlier the fifth one is always excluded. This bit is not covered because you're asking till that point. So it comes with 5 to 54. Mathematically 2 to 5 it will be 2, it will be 3, 50 to 54. Sorry, 3, 5 to 54. But as you are dealing with indices, indices means very simple, boss. Colon, right side, the value whatever you have on right side, just remember till that one, but not that one. When I say till that one, if it is 5, you will get till 4. That is very important. Okay. Now, like that, let me show you something. Erase all the drawings. Now, 1, 3, 5, 2, 54, 34, 2, 34, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is mathematical 1-2s. My Python index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we are all clear on this point. Now let me show you one example. Erase all the drawings. Oh shit, man. Oh god. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry. Now I'm taking. I didn't mean to erase all the drawings. I meant to go to pointer. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry. I'll do it again because it's very important for this.
No,
Because
I think we understood it, what you're trying to say.
perfect. What I'm trying to tell you is I'll replicate that one last time because I messed up when I was working on tuples in PySpark. I don't want you to get to that confusion. I'm saying 2:7. Okay. Now, if I say T2, let me show you what happens. From 2 to 7. Okay. 0. One last time, guys. Please be patient. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, do you see that? On the right side, I have 7. Seventh one is ignored. That means till that point only. So, What is my second one? This is second one. 5, 2, 54, 34, 2. 5, 2, 54, 34, 2 is been repeated. Okay, perfect. That's all I wanted to explain the way of slicing and dicing with tuples. Most of the people tend to confuse here because if you understand the tuples concept properly, you can apply your spark transformations, combine by key, reduce by key, group by key properly, and also you can work on the key value pairs properly on dealing with the way you understood the tuples. Right? Now, do you have any questions till this point, everyone? If you're happy, I'll move on.
Yeah, move on.
Perfect. Let me go back to the pointer. 73rd slide. Now, comparison with tuples. How can you compare the tuples? Why do you need to compare the tuples? And what are the important aspects you need to consider while comparing with tuples? Comparison works with sequences. Comparison work with list. Sorry, comparison work with sequences. So it also works with tuples. Right. It's a valid statement. Now what happens is how we can deal with the comparison of tuples. Python compares the tuple element wise starting from the first element. Very good. If they turn out to be equal, it proceeds to the next one. If it finds any difference in the elements, it gives the result without considering the further elements. This is very important. If you remember the way we explained the if-else statement while loop, if the condition is met to be false, what happens? The code immediately jumps into the next block. Like that, the comparison with tuples has a definition and the way to work. That is, in the comparison process, it start comparison with the first element. Super. In the comparison, if it turn out to be equal, it proceeds to next one. For any reason, if it finds difference in the comparison elements, it gives the results without even considering the further elements. It's not like while or for loop or if loop that if the statement is false, it goes and executes the next block. It don't care like that. If the comparison is false, uh, it immediately gives the result without even considering what is next. We'll talk about it practical next 2 minutes. Now, other important thing here is it doesn't depend upon number of elements in each tuple. It is only concerned with the 2 elements that is comparing at one time. You may have 100 tuples. It doesn't care. What is the result of my first tuple? If it is true, it goes to next one. If it is false, immediately that will give the result of the false one and doesn't even care what is that next. This is important. Okay. The sort function also works the same way by comparing the elements inside each tuple when given a list of tuples. I repeat the statement, please be careful. You have sort function. The sort function also works with the same way by comparing between elements inside each tuple when given a list of tuples. Okay, you have been given a list of tuples. I have 10 list of tuples. When I am using the sort function, my sort function will try to compare my first list with second list. If it is true, it goes to next one. Compares my first one with third one. If it is true, goes with first one with the fourth one. If it is true, it goes to first one and fifth one. If it is false between first one to sixth one, it immediately turns that results and doesn't care about the next one. This is the important part of comparison with tuples. Now let's go ahead and deal with it. Okay, first one, this bit, print 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 3, 4. Let me try this one. This is turning out to because 0, let me take a pen. 0 less than 0, maybe or may not be. 0 less than 3, 0 less than 4, true. 1 is less than 0, maybe or may not be. 1 is less than 3, 1 is less than 4. Okay, 2 is less than 0, maybe or may not be. 2 is less than 3, 2 is less than 4. Ideally, this is the way how it will check. Okay, when dealing with tuples, when comparing the tuples, what happens is, let me erase all the drawings now. Let me go back to the pointer again. Now, is 0 less than 0? When you're dealing with zeros, it says 0 less than 0. It ideally says true. Okay, 1 is less than 3, 2 is less than 4. Perfect. Now let's talk about here. 0 is less than 0. I don't care. 0 dealing with 0, I always say true. 1 is less than 3, true. Now what is this 2 happens here? With whom it should work? It has nothing to work. So it simply says it ignores it. That's the one area of the thing you have to work on. You have to understand. Okay. Now let me go back to the pointer. Let me explain you the sorting part of it. I told you sort also depends upon sort also works like the way comparison works, but inside the tuple when given a list of tuples. Now I have 0, 23, 24, and I have 2, 34, 23. I have 1, 34, 23. You know what it does? It sorts it properly. When I say sorts it properly, let me show you what it means. I'm gonna run this one now. Let's take L, run it, see 0, 23, 24. Now what did it do? After 0 you have 1, after 1 you have 2, so 0, 1, 2. Okay, now it doesn't even care what is this 23, 34, 34. It doesn't care. It doesn't care about 34, 23, 23. It only considers the first one and sorts it correctly. Okay, the first one is first element in each of the sequence of list. Sequence of list is nothing but a tuple separated by comma. We all know about it. Now like that, let's try about reverse equal to true. Erase all the drawings. Erase all the drawings. Now let me go back to the pointer. Now if I say reverse equal to true, see what happens. You got 2 here, you got 1 here, you got 0 here. Now see, if you see here, 34, 23 position didn't change, 34, 23 position didn't change, 23, 34 position didn't change. Only this position has changed, 2, 1 and 0. Okay, this is how you can sort within the tuples. Are you okay till this point? If you're okay, I'll move on to the next slide, else I'll clarify your doubts. Everyone, are you clear till this point? Kavi and Ram, quickly guys.
Hello, Amar.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Amar, just 5 minutes I went out. My daughter, she took vomit. Just now I went out, I came inside.
Oh, I'm really sorry for that. So, okay, that's fine. That's fine. First, take care of that. We can discuss later. Okay.
I came inside now. Just now I came inside.
Hmm. Okay. Mino, how about you?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm okay.
Perfect. Give me 1 second. Now, let's jump on to the next topic, tuple assignment. Sorry. Perfect. 74th slide. Tuple assignments is nothing but you can have tuple on the left hand side of the assignment as well. When I say left hand side as well, what I'm saying is basically you have your variable on your left side and the values of the variable values assigned to the right side. Okay, but in assigning the tuples, you can have tuple on the left side also. When we assign numbers 1, 2, 3, let's take one example. I say L equal to 1, 2, 3. When I say L equal to 1, 2, 3, we assign the list with values 1, 2, 3. Superb. What's happening here? And then immediately when I assign a list to tuple containing 3 elements, as a result, A gets assigned with L of 0, B assigned with L of 1, C assigned with L of 2. Now, like this, we can also write it without any parenthesis like brackets, and it's still valid like the above one. I'm going to show you practically. Now, this process will help us in swapping the elements in a pretty way, making the work easy for you. Now, both sides of these statements are tuples. It can be left or it can be right. They're tuples. But the left side is a tuple of variables. The right side is tuple of expressions. Each value on the right side is assigned to a respective variable on the left side. We know it. Now, all the expressions on right side are evaluated before any of the assignments. That is the most common thing we all know. All the expressions on the right side are evaluated before any of the assignments. Super. The number of variables on the left and the number of values on the right must be same. Okay. Now, if you're working or if you're wondering why we use the only list on the right side here, so for your information, the right side can be of any kind of sequence like string, list, or tuple. In this statement, in this slide, the only thing I want you to be careful is, first thing you need to know, you can assign the tuples either on the left or on the right. Done deal. And after that, both sides of the statements are tuples. The left side will be tuple of variables and right side will be tuple of expressions. Super. After that, each value on the right side is assigned to a respective variable on the left side. For example, L of 0 is your first value. L of 1 is your second value, like that. Always remember, the number of variables on the left side must be equal to number of values on the right side. Done deal. Like that, on the right side, you can have a kind of sequence of list, or sequence of tuples. That is perfectly all right. Now let's do a small practical here to prove our theory. Okay, so when I say L equal to ABC, L equal to 1, 2, 3, ABC equal to L. Now what will be my L? L will be 1, 2, 3. Like that, if I say this one again, the value is not changing, right? It's still 1, 2, 3. But what happens here is L of A will be 1, L of B equal to 2, L of C equal to 3. That is the important thing you need to understand while assigning the variables. On top of it, this 3 must be equal to this one. Now, if you have A, B, C, D here, and if you have 1, 2, 3 here, the D will be ignored. D is not even valid in that case. Are you clear with this one? Can I move on? Guys, are you clear with this? Any questions on this one? Guys, quick response, please.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now let me go on to 75th slide. I need to erase all the drawings. Go back to the pointer. Okay. 75th. Now let me first show you some tuples and dictionaries definition, and then we'll do practicals, and we are making good progress today. Now, tuples and dictionaries. When dealing with tuples and dictionaries, there is a function with the name called as items. This item name is associated with dictionaries that returns a list of tuples. So again guys, item was first found and used in dictionaries, and the same is now returning a list of tuples. But the point is, whenever I say items, dictionaries linked with tuples, it is a tuple with a key value pair. Now here comes the important concept called key value pair. What is a key? What is a value? Now, tuples with key value pairs, if you work on machine learning projects that are dependent on Spark or Hadoop projects in that case, key and a value pairs are the fundamental storage process on how your values are segregated on the distributed Hadoop clusters. You'll have a key. Key is nothing but the reference table column, and the column, the respective values of all the columns. Simply that is termed as key and a value pair. This key and a value pair, it comes when you are dealing with items. The word items we work in dictionaries, and now here the items will give you returns a list of tuples. When I say list of tuples, in that list of tuples, each tuple is a key value pair. Guys, try to understand the difference between list, string, and tuple. I have been highlighting it whenever needed and whenever necessary. You'll have to frame this properly in your mind. You have to memorize and find the differences on spot when the element list, string, or tuple is in front of you. Tuple is separated by a comma. Tuple can be a sequence of list to that matter. Okay, whereas string is sequence of characters, list is a sequence of integers and also characters. Now, what is a key value pair? How can you deal with this key value pair? Let's take one example. I have a dictionary D, and my dictionary D has the string 1 as key, the value 1 as value, string 2 as key, the value 2 as value, string 3 as a key, number 3 as a value. Now, if I say this one, if I just go and run this one, it will give me tuple. Now, here what you need to understand is we can cast to list using list. I'm going to show you practically. Don't worry about it. Now, since it is a dictionary, the items are not in any particular order. Okay. Now, dictionaries, I told you last time also, it is least bothered about putting the items in an order. It is not always in order. It may be in order, it may not be in order. Don't worry about it. Now, whenever you are dealing with list of tuples, here simple boss, I said list of tuples is a list. Perfect. The tuples are always comparable. So you know list of tuples is a list, and you know list are comparable. Now considering point number one, list of tuples is list and list are comparable, you can also apply sort function on top of it. So sorting also works with list of tuples. Converting a dictionary to a list of tuples is a way for us to output the contents of a dictionary sorted by key. Now I'm making a valid statement. My first statement is list of tuples is a list. I also said tuples are comparable. When I said tuples are comparable, when I say I can sort the list of tuples, I can convert a dictionary to a list of tuples. When I convert a dictionary to a list of tuples, it will output the dictionary sorted by the key. Why? Because we need a key and a value. So in the whole frame of this slide, the only point we must be aware is a dictionary can be converted into a tuple of keys and values. Okay, dictionary can be comparable because we are having a list of tuples. The list of tuples can be considered as one list, and in this process you can go ahead and sort list by list properly. In this process, if you have been given a dictionary, while converting that dictionary into a list of tuples, it will be easy for you to obtain a key and a value pair. Let's go ahead and try that one. Okay, if you're confused, just let me know. Okay, now see boss, I have dictionary D. I have a key and I have a value. I'll just say my key is nothing but D of items. Try to understand carefully, Fozio. This is a dictionary. I am converting my dictionary into items by simply saying dot items. When I say print of k, it gave me a key value, key value, key value. My key is within the quotes. My key is within the quotes. My key is within the quotes. My value int is not in the quotes. My value int is not in the quotes. My value is not in the quotes. Perfect. That's what I'm trying to make out here. Okay. Now let me 1 minute, guys. Let me erase all the drawings. Let me go back to the pointer. Now let me run this one for you. Perfect. Now carefully observe. I am making list. I am taking a variable L as a list and I'm saying list of k. When I say list of k, see what happens. It is the same output, right? But here it is items, here it is list. So what do you understand by this? When dealing with dictionaries, tuples and items, dictionaries can be converted into items. Okay, items keys can be dictionaries can be converted into keys and keys can be converted into key value pairs. The only thing you need to do is convert it into items and then you can use a method called list on top of it. Okay, like that. Now I'm using a for loop to go and work on each of my key and a value in list of k and print me a key and a value. Okay, when I say key and a value, what did it do? It gave me one is key, one is value. 2 string is a key and 2 is a value. 3 string is a key and 3 is a value. Okay, now that's what it is. Are you aware? Did you understand the process here? Or do you have any questions on this one? Very simple, not to confuse how key and a value pairs are worked in tuple in coordination with dictionaries items. How you can convert dictionary into an item and how once the item is converted, how you can use list functionality to access it via list process. If you are clear, I'll move on to next slide.
Yeah, clear.
Perfect, that's good. Now, the next complex thing, understanding the files. Now, here it's very important, guys. This is kind of less practical but highly practical. But see, let's go back to our first use case. Do you remember we downloaded one of the file or one of the data set from the internet, Housing Corporation dataset? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
While downloading that, we used this.
It's 6 hours.
We used OpenURL. We used f.access, and we also used different things. Okay, now we are going to highlight those important things. Okay, let's jump into it. First one, the data on our systems is stored in the files. Perfect. Python will help us to handle these files as well. Oh, that's great, Python. Thank you. For reading or writing a file, we must open the file first. How can you do it? Very simple. Use the case open or use the method open. That's it. Now, if the file is opened successfully, the operating system returns as a file handle. Makes sense. The file handle is not actual data contained in the file, but instead it's a handle that we can use to read the data. Try to make out the difference here. Once again, please, I repeat the sentence, understand it carefully. When the file is opened successfully, the operating system returns as a handle. It's a file handle. This file handle is not the actual data contained, but instead a handle that we can use to read the data. It is not accessing the data, but the handle has the permissions to read the data, or it can read, but it is not actually reading the data yet. Now, we are provided with the handle if requested the file exists. If the requested file is existing, we are provided the handle, and if we have the proper permissions to read the file. Now, happy path, what happens is you have the required file, you got the handle perfectly. Now, what happens if there is no file with the name we mentioned? Now, in that scenario, what will happen is if there is no file with the name we mentioned, open file will fail with a traceback and we will not get a handle to access the contents of the file. So what do you understand by this? A handle is very important. A handle means a handle that is returned to you is important. When is the handle returned to you? Handle will be returned to you only when the specified path is available, specified file is available, it can see the file, so the handle will come back to you. That's what it is. Now, we understood the two use cases. Now, the file should be stored in some folder that you are in when you start Python. How many of you are aware of print working directory? PWD. Always remember,
Yeah.
when you are working in Python, whichever files you wanted to access, you have to invoke your Python function or your Python program from that folder where your file is sitting. Okay, that's very important. If you don't do that, unnecessarily you are wasting a lot of time. So be careful. The file should be stored in the same folder that you are in when you start Python. I'm sorry, I was yawning. Okay, now in that case, if there is any chance of file not being present, we can try and accept to deal with exception. Again, we spoke about try and exception very clearly, what it will do to try and what it will do to accept. When it tries and fails, you can add a statement to give the message so it can go and try the next block of it. That is the try and exception. Now, a text file is nothing but it's a sequence of lines in a string format. String format means, again, you know what is a string, so don't worry about it. Now, each line is separated by a /n. When I say /n, that means a new line character. Always remember, guys, /n is a new line character. Don't worry, don't think much about it. Now, in Python, we represent the new line characters as a \n in a string constraints. When we are printing the /n in the string, it breaks the string in a different line, which is nothing but new line. Okay. Now let's deal with it now. Let's deal with it practically. Now, this is my string where I have /n, right? Now see what happens. Okay. It printed data science in the first line, X in the second line, lab in second line, because I have used -n here and -n here. Super. This is fine. Now, are you clear with this one? Are you clear with the whole slide? This is all theory, how the Python will access the files and usage of files. If you are clear, I'll move on to the next slide. In this slide, all we remember is how the file open works, how the handle comes. If the handle is requested back to you, it means the file is available, and to open and start working on it, you have to use try and accept statements. Clear?
Yeah.
Just remember this line also. When we are, see the last line in this slide, when we are reading the lines, we need to imagine that there is a special invisible character -n called the new line at the end of each line that marks the end of the line. That's very important. So if you don't mention /n, then it means there is no new line and that will end the line there. That's very important. So always remember, when you have n number of lines, just make sure you mention /n there. Okay. Now let's jump to new file, new slide, that is reading the files again. So you understood f.open, right? Now we can use a for loop to read files using its handle. You know what is a file handle, so you know for loop and you know how open works. Now you also need to close the handle once it is of no use. Okay, you try to download it from GitHub. So first it has to go and say f.open. If the GitHub link is existing and if it is proper, it will get a handle request. Once the handle request is completed, you use download URL lib function, and after that you have to say f.close. If you don't say f.close, the whole exception keeps iterating and you are simply filling up your disk. Don't do that. So you need to close the handle once it's of no use by f.close. Now, so there is a better way to read files using with. With means that is also a kind of item. Item is a method we use there. So like that, we can also use with. This with, so you did not have to worry about closing the handle. Okay. Now, guys, this with is not the English with. This with is nothing but it's a method like items and list. Let me highlight this one. This with is not the English with, it's a method. Perfect. Now we understood that. Now I'll show you practically. Before I show you practically, I wanted to make out one more point here. We need to place the path of file inside the brackets and the file handle is stored in F. When I say file handle stored in F, you need to be in that specific directory from where you are invoking your Python function. Try it in the notebook and see the results. It should print each line in the file and then print all the lines as a concatenated ones. Okay. Now we can also read the whole file into one string using the read method on the file handle. Content equal to f.read. Now let me go back. I don't have this file, but if you can put one file in this data location, Python sample dot, just put some random data in it. I want you guys to try it. That is the reason I'm not showing it. So if you see here, there's no file directory. I have not put any data there, but I would request you to kindly put some data, and once you put the data, go and run this line. So just see what happens. I have used the method with here, with open. As I'm using with open, the handle is only valid within the block of with. So in any case, if you don't want to exclusively call out f.close, like the way you used f.open, if you think you tend to forget applying f.close, simply using with function. With function is only valid for that specific file within the open statement. Once that's done, once with block is executed, it will close the existing thread through that file that is open. Okay. Now in this one, other important point I want to highlight here is, if you wanted to read the contents and read the file into one string, then say content equal to f.read. That's all it is. Very simple, straightforward. Okay. Any questions on this slide, everyone? Any questions on this one?
No.
Perfect. Now let's go to other thing, which is called searching in files. How are you searching the contents in the files? Now this is also very simple, straightforward. We can search in the file line by line or by creating a single string for the whole content of the file. Okay, you can use check equal to 0. With open, go and find the data where you have the data. For line if line starts with W. For example, if you have some 10 lines, the first line which is starting with W, if you want to find it, go and use this function, you'll find it. Now start with function. Guys, this is again, this is not a normal English. This is a kind of method, I would say. Let me highlight that one here also. It's a function. Once again, I reiterate: method, function, class, package, module. Don't worry with these things. These are interoperable, used wherever needed, whichever way we wanted to adopt it. That's what it is. Now, searching with files. In this process, you need to be aware of starts with function. This starts with function will check if the string is starting with the argument you mentioned in the bracket. So if you don't know that starts with is a function that can be used, you will struggle and write some messy code around it. So this is the reason why I say you need to know the list of functions, methods, and classes that are available. So based on your need and necessity, you will go and directly use that. That is the reason why I have taken an extra time, extra effort to cover each and every concept that is important for you in this journey. Okay, so kindly, if you are not clear with any of the concept, spend some time, clear the gap, and then move on. If you are aware that a concept is not clear, and if you are bluntly going ahead making that, ignoring that concept, I'm sure you'll definitely have a problem in the journey. I won't recommend you to revise the use cases to again and again, because the complete code is available online. If you are clear with the way how it is implemented, how the structure is adopted, you can get the code from online also. But implementing Python, no excuses, no shortcuts. You have to deal with it, you have to learn it, you have to start practicing it. Trust me, I'm not being pushy. I'm trying to tell you the facts. If you are good at one programming language, any other programming language will be easy for you. You are investing your time on yourself here. 80 slides in 5 working days. Today it's the 7th working day, I believe. 80 slides, 10 slides a day. We have made a great progress. Just spend some time, memorize everything, go and start reading all the slides, make a notes of it. Just question to yourself which method is being discussed, which function is used for what. Just go and talk to yourself. List, string, tuples, calculator, NUmpy. I talked about math functions. I talked about functions. I talked about for loop, while loop. I talked about the operators, modulo operators. Just start thinking, talking to yourself. That will make sense and you will be able to connect everything. Okay. So Python boss, no excuses. Please, please, please spend as much time as you can. Practice everything. Then come back to me if you have any questions. One more thing, I won't expect you to write a complex Python code by yourself. Every code is available online. But the point is, you must be able to relate the things what we discussed here, and you must be in a position to understand how that guy has written the code so that I can use his skeleton and implement in my environment for my use case. That is important. Okay, let me not waste time with this information. Let's jump onto our concepts. Yes. So this starts with function, checks with if the string with the argument mentioned is available in the bracket or not. Basically, here we are searching for the lines in the file which are start with W. Go ahead and try this by yourself. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Are you clear with this one? Searching in files. In this slide, you only need to worry about the starts with, because I'm searching a file. In that file, a line starting with W. For that purpose, I use the function starts with. That's all it is. Clear?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me move on to next one. Writing files. Again, this writing files is also very fairly simple, straightforward, but you need to understand and link your your open, your read, your close, and your handle request. If you link these 3 things, then that will be called as writing the files. Okay, let's start understanding the concept. Till now, we are opening the file in read module, but we can also open the file in write module as well, if we have the permissions to make the changes or read the file. If you don't have permissions to make the changes or read file, your write function won't work, only your read mode will work. Perfect. We need to mention W as an argument if you want to open the file in the write mode. Yes, it is, because W is write permissions, R means read permissions. Perfect. Try opening a simple file in write mode and see the results. Okay, go ahead and put some data in that directory. Go to data, go to Python sample file, and in there put some data and use that function and see what happens. When I say print f.read, what happens? Just check it out. It's an assignment for you guys. It's fairly simple. You will love it. Trust me. Just to go and try it now. Alternatively, what happens is while you are opening the file in read mode, you can mention R as an argument, but not necessary because W is write, R is read. Now, change the W to R in the above code and see the result. See what happens. Test it out. Now, on opening a file in W mode, all the changes that we make will completely replace the contents present earlier in the file because W is a write permissions. Write permissions means you got the permissions to edit, change, update the file. Now, suppose you have a file. Okay, suppose you have a file, and in that file you have some permissions in the directory, and that contains a Cloud X lab, for example. In that case, the only word inside it provided, you have to permission edit it. Okay, for that case also you can use the way how you can update your directories. That is also very important. Okay, this is how you can read, write, and open the files. Okay, do you have any questions on this one? This slide is fairly simple. He is asking you to go and insert the word W, go and insert the word R. What happens when you use W? What happens when you use R? Try to make some changes in W mode, see what error it comes. Try to make some changes in R mode, see what changes it makes. This is what he's trying to tell you. Okay, now like that, let's try one example here. This is also example for you. Just go ahead and say with open cxl wsf, say f.write, print Python is a programming language. Now, if you try reading the contents of this file, you will simply get Python is a scripting language, and you will get Python language. Python is a scripting language. The reason why you get this is it will read out the contents, and when you try to write it in the proper permissions, it will take the changes. When you try to write the changes in the R format, it won't allow you to make the changes. That's what it's trying to tell you. So this is one example for this one exercise for you. Write a function that writes the argument passed in the brackets to the file and replaces the original contents of the file. Okay, try it in your notebook. Since there is no file CXL present in your current folder, it will create one. You open the file in write mode. So to avoid replacing the original contents in the file, we have another mode for opening the file, which is called call append written as A. This, if you go ahead and Google it out, you will find the example code for writing and reading the files. Okay, let me show you something. You are a layman, you don't know anything about it. See, it's very clearly explained here. Read one line, read two lines, loop through the line. Everything is available online. The only thing, guys, to be honest with you, the only point you need a trainer or a mentor is to help you with all the concepts ready. It's simple, like he's preparing your food for you and putting it on the table. Okay, once the food is prepared and it is ready to eat, as a person you need to know which one to take first, how much to eat, when to eat. That's all you need to know. I have given every small piece of information that is important for you to become a Python developer. Now start practicing, have many workshops, discuss the concepts, try something by yourself, then you'll get to know what I'm talking about. Okay, but practically speaking, we have covered every important aspect that is required for you to say you know Python. Now go and read the blogs, go and see the complex codes, try to understand how that's written, and at least try once if you can write that code by yourself. It will take some time, but practically speaking, I wouldn't expect you to write a code by yourself because we are not Python developers here. We are learning Python for data science. Python for data science is implemented with NumPy, Pandas, Scikit, TensorFlow. If we are efficient enough to handle these four functionalities of the machine learning ecosystem with Python, our target is met. If you wanted to be a Python developer, talk to me offline. I'll tell you what you need to do. We are mentioning in our series that we worked on data science with Python and R. So with this one, you are in a position to deal with any request that comes in your way with Python for machine learning. The basics are done. If you have any questions till this point, let me know. Time is 6:22. I'll have to start advanced Python also now. So I'll give you a break of, let's start by 6:30. 6:22, let's take 8 minutes break, and I'll start with advanced Python now. If you have any questions, you can ask me, no problem. If you have any questions till this point, you can ask me.
No.
So I'm going on mute now. I'll come back by 6:30. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Guys, are you here with me? Let's start back now. Let's jump
Yeah.
in. Let's jump into advanced Python concepts. So you have we have understood the basics of Python. So let's not leave it there. Let's take it further. So we discussed about Python dictionaries. We discussed about comparison of Python list and dictionaries. We also learned about adding values to dictionaries. We got about dictionary tracebacks and get methods for dictionaries. Counting words in paragraph, I've showed you one example also. Looping dictionaries I've shown you. Python tuples I've shown you. Things not to do with tuples I've shown you. Tuples and dictionaries we sorted out. And sorting tuples also we sorted out. Finding top 10 frequent words in a file, but we try to find one word in a file. So top frequent words is just one extension to that one. So it's not a big deal, you can do it. Now, this is one level up to what we have learned. Okay, so when somebody talks about tuples, you won't be scared now to talk about it. When somebody is talking about tuples, you'll at least say, I'm confident enough to go ahead and start working on it. Because we have dealt with the different use cases of tuples also. Like that, counting a words paragraph, get methods of dictionaries, whatever points I have mentioned in this slide, you guys are more familiar with, you can go and start working. If you are struck, our Google Mother is there, you can go and talk to her. That's fine. Now, tuples and regular expressions in Python. You understood the tuple syntax. You understood what is immutability versus mutability. You understand the comparability versus comparing the operators. You understood about sorting. You understood about tuples in assignment statements. We also dealt with sorting dictionaries, either key with value and introduction to regular expressions. Perfect. We all discussed about this. So we may need to uh, have one workshop and start discussing on any points which is not clear to you. We'll have one workshop on that. Now, Python classes and objects. What is a class? What is an object? What is a method? What is an attribute? Simple examples of a class in Python. Directory and type I've explained you. Using the directory functions on strings I explained you. Object lifecycle, no, we haven't covered. Constructors, I told you that methods, constructions, functions, packages are all used in based on the need and necessity, but they all does the same work. What is inheritance? How to inherit a class in Python? Okay, these things simply go ahead and find it in w3schools.com. It will be easy for you. This is an assignment for you guys. Now, if you can get these answers for me in tomorrow's class, that would be really great. I want everyone to get these answers and post in the Slack channel. I don't mind whoever does first and whoever does last, but I want response from every one of you. A detailed 2 to 3 lines answer on each of this question to be posted in Slack channel. If Meenu drops her version of answers, that doesn't mean Kavi shouldn't do it. If Kavi have done it, that doesn't mean Meenu shouldn't do it. I want everyone's response. Try to get these answers today. This is a kind of an assignment for you, take home assignment. Go and understand what is a class. Go and understand what is an object. Go and understand what are the methods and attributes. Simple examples of class in Python. The reason why I'm saying is, when you try to get an answer for this question, all the concepts I have told you in this 8 days will be picturized in your mind. When we talk about objects, the variables comes into picture. When I say about a class, again the method, the class, the function, and when I say math.length, that will come into picture. When I say methods and attributes, I told different methods that will come to your mind. When I say simple example of a class in Python, we started a function and then that function we use some classes that will come to your mind. So I want you to memorize what I have told with what is the textbook answer for these concepts. So please get me answers of this one by end of today or before you come to the class tomorrow. Now, let's talk about the important concepts. Now, the advanced Python for data science comes here. What is NumPy? What is pandas? What is matplotlib? How NumPys are used? How pandas are used? How matplotlib is used? I'll come very slowly here because you need to understand the mathematical implementation of everything. Now, what is the usage of NumPy? How is NumPy used? What is indexing and accessing NumPy arrays? Now, all these days you're talking about list, you're talking about string, you're talking about sequence of string, sequence of list, you're talking about tuples. Now, a completely different concept came, that is array. What is an array? What is the difference between array versus tuple? Start thinking. How you can work with linear algebra with numpys. What are the basic operations in numpy arrays? How the broadcasting in numpy array works? What is mathematical and statistical functions on numpy? Perfect. What is pandas? How can you work with pandas series objects? What is matplotlib? What is overview of matplotlib? What is matplotlib pyplot module does and how we can deal with it? Okay, these are all the things we are going to talk. We'll complete this one by including today's class. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow I'll complete it. If we have 5 to 7 sessions, that's more than enough for us to complete this one. If we complete this slides and if you go back and compare your use case 1, use case 2, you'll simply understand why we did what we did, how we did. Simple. Now, understanding NumPy. NumPy is nothing but stands for numeric Python or numerical Python. It is an open source. It is one of the modules of Python. It provides the fast mathematical function. Okay. When you ask me about what is the complete machine learning ecosystem for Python, I would say NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Scikit-learn, TensorFlow is the complete Python ecosystem for machine learning. Because if you know these tools, if you know using this functions, then you will be a well-versed machine learning expert or a very good data scientist. So this is what I would say a machine learning ecosystem for Python. NumPy, Pandas, Scikit-learn, TensorFlow, Matplotlib. We have used NumPy, we have used Pandas, we used Matplotlib, we use Scikit-learn also, but we haven't used TensorFlow. But we compared the TensorFlow with Scikit-learn when we are getting the classification dataset data. Okay, so just be aware of it. Now, let me jump on next slide. Here, why use NumPy? What is the advantage of using NumPy? NumPy is array-oriented programming. When you say array-oriented programming, again, you understood list, you understood string, you understood tuples. The way you are accessing the data in a different format and the way you are computing on top of it is called array-oriented programming. NumPy uses the data in the form of arrays. What is array? Park it now. Don't worry. We have other slide for it. This NumPy is efficiently implemented multi-dimensional arrays. You can work with 1D array, you can work with 2D array, you can work with 3D array. Perfect. Now, it is designed for scientific computation. It's not just for scientific computation. Your statistical work is also made very easy with Python. Okay. NumPy is library of high level computations and functions. Very high level, very high level. When I say very high level, the most complex business use cases can be solved easily using NumPy. NumPy's main object is the homogeneous multidimensional array. Multidimensional array means again 1D array, 2D array, 3D array like that. It is the table of elements. When I say table of elements, it is actually dealing with numbers. It is dealing with all of same type. When I say all of same type, all are arrays indexed by a tuple of positive integer. When I say positive integer, it is nothing but from the right side, not on the left side. Okay, that's what it is. So when I say list, It's a table of elements. The table of elements is nothing but it is indexed by positive tuples. Positive tuples mean index of 0, index of 1, like that. Now, in NumPy, dimensions are called as axes. When I say dimensions, x-axis, y-axis, x-axis, y-axis. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Okay. This is called 2D array. This is called 1D array. This is called 3D array. Okay. Now, when I say dimensions as axis, the number of axes is called rank. So this is one axis. This is one axis. This is two rank. This has got only one axis. So this is one rank. This has got three axes. So this is three rank. Okay. This is how it should work. This is how you need to understand about arrays. The textbook answer for array is bit different, but if you compare that one with this one, you'll tend to confuse. While working on numpys, when we talk about arrays, just remember 1D array, 2D array, 3D array. Now, each dimension in the array is called as a rank. 1D has one dimension, one rank. 2D has two dimensions, two rank. 3D has three dimensions, three rank. That's all it is. Okay. Textbook version of array, we'll start working on it when we deal with it. But however, the slide is there on that. Don't worry about it. Are you okay with this? Do you have any questions on this one? Do you have any questions on this one?
This is just an overview. We'll go deep later, isn't it, Anna?
Yes, 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 yes. It's all very basics.
Yeah.
You could, I'll show you that 1 minute. I have I have that one also. First, you need to understand how the arrays are created. So, what is np.array? np.c. Look at the examples, guys. Let me show you. 1 minute. I'm just organizing my pen and this one. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Now, np.array is creating NumPy array from Python list or tuples. Perfect. NumPy array can be created from Python list or tuples in the following way. np.zeros. When I say np.zeros, 3, 4, which means 3 rows and 4 columns. 1, 2, 3. Okay. First column, second column, third column, fourth column. I just said, dear NumPy, use my zeros method and get me 3 rows, 4 columns array. It did it. That is np.zeros. Done and dusted. Like that, I am saying np.ones. Means I am asking my NumPy to create one array with 3-dimensional, 3 rows and 4 columns. 1, 2, 3. 1 column, 2 column, 3 column, 4 column. Done and dusted. Now, you dealt with np.zeros, you dealt with np.ones. Okay. Like that, let's go ahead and create an n-dimensional array in the next slide. Okay. Let me go to the pointer. Here, we are talking about np.full. When I say np.full, an array with a given value will be created. To create an array with a given shape and a given value, np.full is used. Perfect. Like that, np.arange. This np.arange is creating a sequence of numbers. Now, let me go back to the previous slide. If you just say here, understand carefully, guys. I said import numpy as np. A is nothing but np.array 1, 2, 3. When I said type of A, it said numpy dot n-dimensional array. Now, when I said np.array 3, 4, 5, it said numpy.nd array. Type of A is bit different, type of B is different, but the class it gave is NUmpy array class. Let me show this practically in my Jupyter notebook. I need to erase all the drawings and go back to the pointer. Perfect. Let me go here. Now, advanced Python for data science. See here, these are all the examples I have taken. Now, guys, see here. This is np.full. Now, when I say np.full, I need to import the numpys. Okay, try to understand something. I said import numpy as np. My variable a should store values of np.array 1, 2, 3. Here it is closed in the square bracket followed by circle followed by the normal bracket. Okay. Here it said numpy.nd array. Perfect. Like that, here one square bracket followed by the normal bracket. Here both are normal brackets. But when I say type of B, does it give you any difference? No. This one is np.nd array. This one is also np.nd array. With this one, what you understand, the way you try to access or the way you try to define the tuples is also important. Please be aware on which way you are going to define it. Now, zeros I explained you. When I say 3, 4, it gives me 3 rows, 4 columns of zeros in an array. It's very simple. See array. Within the array, you have the results. Like that, if I say np.ones 3, 4, it gives 3 rows, 4 columns with ones. Now, your 0 is covered, your 1 is covered. Now, let's get np.full. When I say np.full, it creates a full array with this value 0.11, creating 3 rows and 4 columns. Let's try that one. See, 0.11, 0.11. This is first row, this is second row, this is third row, and you have 4 columns as well. Done and dusted. Super. Now I said np.arange 1035. Let's see what happens. This np.arange is saying, boss, it's going to be an array and the type will be int64. There are so many things which I have to add. I thought today slides would suffice with the timings arranged. So np.arange is creating a sequence of numbers. That sequence of numbers is nothing but 1035. Okay, this is all I have for today's session. So with this one, we have completed the Python basics and entered into advanced basics for data science. These advanced concepts will cover scikit-learn, TensorFlow, NumPy, Pandas. Do you have any questions till this point? Everyone?
No.
Okay. Now tell me, are you feeling comfortable from the position where you were last week and the position you are in today? If you look back at your Python use cases, are you in a position to figure it out why it has done like that? Give me a honest, straight feedback. If you are, say you are. If you are not, say you are not. If you are halfway through, just say halfway through. A honest feedback is appreciated.
Actually, concept okay, Amar, but only thing is lot of things we are using here. Loops means like 5, 6 types. Lot of types are we are using. That is the main thing.
Okay. Okay, go
Lot of.
ahead. You need to practice a lot so you feel more comfortable on it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, okay, okay.
Practice as much as you can. When I say as much as you can, if you just practice what I have told in the classes, that is enough for now. The
Mm-hmm.
complexity of the code when you work real time for a client, looking at the existing infrastructure code, you can relate things. That's not a problem. Okay.
Okay,
We
okay.
know how about you?
My mic, oh, sorry, my mic wasn't working. Yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable. Probably once we finish the whole Python, if I go back and check my two use cases, I would definitely understand it better.
Okay, cool. That's what my concept was. So yes, I agree. Python should have told first. The reason why I have not told Python first is I wanted to make you guys aware how the journey is going to be. So, okay, you'll then understand, okay, this is not as easy as what I thought. I need to put some more effort. So, implementation flow, if you are clear, at least you'll have some points to talk in the interview. If I spend whole 1 month in Python, then next the machine learning process starts, then you won't get confidence to take the calls and attend interviews. My strategy will be in line with the requirements of the market. Always, I can say that. So let's today we have started advanced Python. I think tomorrow 5 to 7, Wednesday 5 to 7, I'll finish the advanced Python. Thursday we'll go ahead and resume the classification project where we left. Friday we'll revise that one. Saturday, Sunday workshop we'll discuss Python along with use case 1 and use case 2. And from next week, let's start fresh with use case number 3. Okay?
Okay.
Any other questions, guys?
No.
Okay. Okay, then thank you for joining me this morning. I would appreciate your efforts and keep practicing. I'll send you the slides and I'll upload the recording once it's done. All the very best and good luck. Have a great day. Enjoy your work.
Bye.